Welcome to Skylands Global mini webinar series. Our webinars are intended to be brief and practical resource for legal compliance professionals and management of investment fund and financial services companies who need high-level understanding of relevant compliance issues. Any information or opinions contained in this series do not constitute legal, accounting, tax, or investment advice. Session 1 is a quick guide to Japan's financial instruments law. Japan's Securities Exchange Act of 1948 was revamped in 2007 as the Financial Instruments and Exchange Act of Japan. Its acronym is FIEA. By consolidating the different sets of laws for separate asset classes into a single regime, this reform helped unifying a comprehensive coverage of investment asset classes, closing the regulatory gap to cover alternative investment asset class, and streamlining the regulatory framework that balanced between protection of the general public and flexibility afforded for sophisticated institutional investors and business operators. This reform enhanced the integrity and efficiency of the country's financial market. Since then, Japan's Exchange Act has been continuously revised to address the dynamic changes and compliance issues as they arose in the investment market. In our view, Japan's approach is free market-centric, rather than enforcing the most restrictive laws regardless of the level of targeted investors. It gives a reasonable flexibility to qualified institutional business in order to facilitate healthy growth and innovations of the country's financial market. Their regulatory authority, Financial Services Agency, or FSA, preserved the power to tighten its rein when necessary, as we see in the latest revision of 2015, now being implemented in 2016. So, what are the main licensing options for investment management and brokerage business for entering the Japanese market and raising capital from the Japan-domiciled investors? Licensing in Japan is organized by the type of business you conduct, the type of financial instruments you invest and offer to investors, and the type of investors you target. Rather than going through all types of licensing, this and the following webinars will focus on the special exempt provision for the privately placed institutional investment fund business. This exempt option allows certain institutional investment fund business to operate as an unregistered reporting entity under the FSA. In a broad classification, this status is called Specially Permitted Business Operator, or SPO. Within SPO, there are two business types. Specially Permitted Business for Qualified Institutional Investor, or SPBQII, is an investment management company that manages and privately places unregistered investment funds to more than one qualified institutional investors and no more than 49 non-institutional investors. Specially Permitted Investment Management Business, or SPIMB, refers to those who manages unregistered investment funds subject to the same level of investor-based restriction. Many of the alternative asset managers, including hedge funds, private equities, and REIT, could qualify as an SPO, and therefore this provision has proven to be a very cost-efficient method for those managers and their investors. As of January 2016, FSA reported over 2,700 entities are filed as SPOs, of which almost 30%, or 750, are foreign filers. However, nearly 800 SPOs are also reported to be in violation of the exempt SPO rules, meaning many entities are breaching the boundary of permitted business, but are conducting types of activities only allowed for fully registered investment managers or financial instruments brokers. This prompted the FSA and Cabinet Office to impose tighter and broader regulations for institutional fund business in the form of the newly revised FIEA of 2015. Our next webinar will focus on what is the revised FIEA of 2015 and its implications for institutional fund business operators. For any questions regarding this topic, how to implement Japanese compliance program, or interest in our agency support services, please contact Skylands Global by email info@skylandsglobal.com.